As National Wellness Month overlaps the countdown to Labor Day, unions shine a spotlight on something often overlooked: the health and safety of the people who build and power our communities. Paul Noley with Project First Rate says it's no coincidence that union work sites are often safer and offer stronger benefits. From full family health coverage to retirement plans and life insurance, he says unions help ensure that workers, especially in high-risk fields like construction, aren't just protected on the job, but long after they hang up their hard hats.
Well, I think it's important to understand that the unions are representation of workers. They're not some outside entity. They are organizations that are made up and led by workers just like any one of us. And those are the ways that so many industries have earned benefits, whether it's welfare, health, retirement,